All right, we're gonna go through the exterior on the 2020 Transit 350. This is a all-wheel drive model. Paint's in really good shape. I don't have any areas where it's been repainted or anything. All the gaps and everything are nice and smooth. There are some dings and dents around the vehicle, like rock chips, stuff like that. But lights are in good shape. Windshield has been replaced at some point. I could not get the driving assists to come on. So basically it's like forward collision assist and lane keep, all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to aid and assist. I could not get that stuff to work. The sensors are here. And it's just like fake though. Like it's not actually, there's no wires behind here. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. Definitely something to keep in mind. A lot of people don't like the driving assist, so you might have scored on that. It doesn't say, hey, this system's not working or anything, especially in the codes. Some damage here. Just a couple dings here and there. Right here, good ding. Kind of hard to capture. But it's not terrible. The top's in pretty good shape. They're all capped off where the rails would have been. A lot of the government vehicles, they don't have the roof rails attached, so you can usually tell if it's a government vehicle. Lights and everything work except for plate lights. On the undercarriage part, I did notice some damage underneath, so make sure you check that point. And then slider doors and everything work, so we'll just keep moving through this. Engine bay is a warm start, but I'm going to get you a startup and then I'll come over and just touch base on a couple things. Fired up just like that when I got it this morning, so starts right up. That's good. These have like this duct here will come from the hood that goes to your cabin. This is going to be your intake. They did go through shops, so they already did the filter. This is like a wraparound throttle body. This is a non-turbo engine. A couple things. So it's a little dirty, but I don't see like any clumping of debris or anything like that. They did put like the silicone on the plastics and stuff, so they just stand out a lot right now. Belts and everything are all in really good shape. Everything is dry down there. The video might be hard to see, but here's going to be your crash rails, frame rail and everything. All of it's straight. The bolts don't look like they've ever been touched. Brake fluid, a little dark, not too bad. It's still nice and gold. And then over here, so this side you can actually see your diff. So it's like a center diff situation, but it's not. So there's like an actual diff in here underneath the engine, but they positioned it like a center diff. So the engine's out in front of it. And then you do have a drive line that goes to a T-case and it runs back to a solid axle like a truck. So, not bad. Basically, they squished the truck drivetrain into a van, which, I mean, a lot of people on probably work out well. Especially with how many people you can put in this bad boy. The all-wheel drive system is pretty much involuntary. It's on all the time. You can kind of change the settings depending on what kind of conditions you are in. I am in like a little dirt lot here. You can kind of see over here, right there, I got that rear tire to kind of spin a little bit, make sure it actually was helping. Yeah, pretty much it. Really straightforward on this guy. Your crash support here, all these bolts and everything, they have not been touched. You can see up in here, your fender. So all this stuff has been left alone for the most part. Usually if you've had repairs in here, you'd see all these bolts taken apart or marks on them where the bolts have been turned. So, looks good. I always point out, like you can see like part numbers still. Sometimes when things have been repainted, they won't be like stamps anymore. They'll be like smoothed over remnants of numbers. Those are all still stamped. So it looks really good. We're going to stop here and move on. Alright, so we're going to do our undercarriage. I always start from the front here. Basically, you can see from the front if anything's hanging down, sagging, or dragging on the ground. And then we also look for shiny. So shiny would be something wet or leaking or dripping or residue, and I don't see any of that. We do have like a little bit of surface rust on cross members, but overall not too bad. So we're gonna go to each corner and just kind of go down the sides and show you how everything's doing. Driver front corner, your lift point. So these do have like a frame situation going back, but they use the pinch welds as lift points as well. All the lines and everything look really good still. You'll see like the black spray paint. It's not a real undercoat, and you kind of see like the surface rust. On this, it's really not bad. Nothing here is concerning. There's nothing flaking or bubbling or anything like that. This is what I mean by bubbling. So you see how the paint's like rough? That's where rust is under it. I don't see anything like that under here on this side. So kind of just follow the mirror here as we go back. On that pinch weld, looks really good. Leaf spring perch. And then there's some lines here and everything for the AC in the rear. Solid drive line, stock exhaust, and solid rear axle. Shocks are not bad, but they're not brand new. They definitely have some surface rust from being chipped up and everything, kind of like these caps. So something like that. We're gonna go straight from the back. Okay, so this is your so basically the crash bar that goes to the body's frame, and then your leaf spring, solid axle. Now I heard some clunking while driving over bumps and stuff in the rear a little bit. I know with these seats and like how much empty space is in these, it's kind of loud. The only thing I can think of is like these end links are bolted straight from the axle to the actual frame that's going underneath your feet and everything. So that could be where the transfer of sound's coming from. Oh. And here, like I said, stock exhaust. Thing's got like 3 mufflers on it. Not too bad. I'm gonna pause here. Passenger front corner here, really good shape. Get in there, you can kind of see your drive line underneath everything. Cross members and everything all look really good. Trans band under there, cats, a funny Y. And then, like I said, big old mufflers on this bad boy. All looks good. We do have a problem area. I know you were talking about some kind of accident or some damage that they couldn't specify. I think I know what's happening. So, boom, that is happening. So that is the body that is bent, and even the gussets and everything have been bent, and that could mess with that cross beam. It doesn't really go like directly onto the frame. So I'm manhandling this. So this is the pinch weld. It got smashed in. This is the gusset for the cross beam that's supposed to reinforce this side to the floor to the frame. So this is structural integrity. To replace this would be a big undergoing to do. So that is pretty significant. Quite the bend, and even the gussets being bent is crazy because those are literally there to add structural reinforcement. So they definitely lifted this bad boy wrong. Could have been like a job site thing. You can see here, right here where it's a sharp notch and a sharp notch here. So that's definitely some severe damage. Just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, the interior on this one's gonna be fun. So starting here at the steering wheel, radio volume, cruise control. The limit, you can basically like set a limit that it won't exceed. And then your menu for this screen. It does have this touch screen here. Backup camera is gonna show you something crazy because the doors are open. All of that works well. It's not an actual nav, just compass. It's gonna yell at me the doors are open now that I put it in gear. Climate control works really well. Max AC. You do also have climate for the back here, and having the AC running here does help that make it colder. Drive modes, so buttons here for your traction and modes. The vehicle does react differently based on what mode you're in. So I drove an eco normal. For me, the best throttle response shift feel was actually in tow haul. The downshifts for me were a little bit stiff, or abrupt. It seems like maybe because it's a people hauler, it kind of tries to use the transmission to help itself slow down. So, floor e-brake works good. I love these manual e-brakes versus the electric ones. If your battery dies with the electric one set, good luck. Some plugs here. Batteries underneath this seat. I believe you take this panel out. Cup holder here. That's serious. They had to put those on there. Don't do that. Cup holder here. Power windows on the front only. The front right does not respond. He said it was intermittent when I was at the shop, but I could not get it to work. Let's turn that off so I'm not yelling at you guys. It does have a manual shift option, which works really well. The upshift seems a little delayed. I mean, I guess I'm used to like DCTs and Mopars, so you push it, it's literally like 2 seconds at most, and then it's doing its upshift. It seems like it kind of wants to settle that RPM firsthand. I do love these storage pockets, super cool. For here, I'm gonna pause. We're gonna look at the outside in, and then obviously I'm gonna have to go all the way back on this bad boy. Okay, so we're at the driver front door. So door cards aren't bad. There is some scraping along here. Pedals and everything are in good shape. It is a vinyl floor. Seats do have some wear, and I'll show you on the tops as well. A couple of them have some rips and tears, but overall not too bad. You'll see a lot of boot scuffs and stuff on these sides, a little more drastic on the other side. All right, driver or passenger front, I'm so sorry. Here we are, glove box. Has the owner's manual and everything there. Down here is where your jack is. And then you got 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 in the back here. So real fast while we're up here on the floor, you'll see like nicks, tears, scuffs, just guys with big boots and all their stuff getting in and out. This poor seat looks like it's just been through it from people going in and out. This guy here, you can feel where you're supposed to grab. it's pretty funny. You can see it on each shoulder as you go back, so something to keep note of if you got little ones. The guy said you're basically family hauling in this bad boy, so I don't know, you basically have to get that reupholstered to take care of it, but your guys are gonna be doing the same thing, so it might just be worth finding some kind of like solution for like a clamp or brace there. All the seat belts, they pull out nicely, pull hard, they all stop and grab and lock like they're supposed to. You'll see vent missing, the center guts of that one missing, and just some marks here and there all the way around. So not terrible. Obviously it was used for some people hauling, so to keep that in mind. All right, so this is your sliding door. This is your door seal. You can see the bend here, and then in here, like all these brackets are broke, so it's just kind of, you can just squish it. It has like a nice bend under here, and then these are all broken from probably people kicking their boots on it. That's what I would assume. Frigid weather, didn't stand a chance. Yeah. Keep moving forward. That's going to be your interior here. The trunk video, rear hatch, truck bed. Well, you got farm doors on this bad boy. These guys do unlock. So just a thumb. Oh. It's a little more than a thumb. These guys are a little stiff. So lock and unlock. And you should be able to push. And then it's magnetized down here. Boom. Stays like that so it doesn't blow back open. These guys you got to guide a little bit when you push them back into these locks. This one here, if the thing is locked here, like if you have it locked, you can't even close the door all the way. So I don't know if this just needs to be lubed up or adjusted or something. It closes fine as long as you make sure it lines up, right? Like watch. All right. Make sure it's unlocked. Hard pull. Same story here. Also, these speakers work really good, and this will let you out. So there's that hard pull. Backup camera down there. Plate lights do not work on this bad boy. We're gonna go right down here. Your spare tire is down there. This bad boy, pop that out. That's how you lower it down. There's a nut or something in there, and that'll be part of your spare tire kit underneath the passenger front seat. Okay, so we are on our code scan portion here. So throughout here we do have a couple faults. The first one on the body control, it says 4, but there's like a few different ones. Some of those are my fault. As you can see, I have the doors open. On Ford products, when you scan the body control module, if doors are open, it puts those as active codes. Other codes that we saw were for the plate lights were out, and it had some codes for the passenger or right headlight and turn signal, which are working now. So I'm assuming they were faults before, and then after it went through shop, they kind of took care of a lot of stuff from what I hear. They said it was pretty straightforward. They did brakes and stuff like that, but no like overall general maintenance. So once this reads this, I just want to show you the codes. On Ford products, it goes through everything, like it's gonna honk the horn, yeah, stuff like that. So it's like actively testing. You hear the locks going off. Alright, see here, I left the doors open, plate lights not working, and tire pressure, I forgot, that is the other one I was thinking about. This tire pressure light stayed on pretty much the whole drive. It was flashing at first, went solid, and never went off. Other lights are working, the plate lights are not. I'm gonna pause here. Oh, sorry, before I move on, your audio control, come on. Audio control module, it says speaker 1. This guy does the when you're up in the volume. So keep that in mind. We're gonna move on to a couple modules and some information here. All right, you specifically wanted to know about your run time on here. Sorry, I'm fighting the glare. I'm trying not to have you just stare at my hand. Just focus. Okay, so your total engine run time is 72,000 seconds. Your total engine lifetime is 594,491 seconds. Your idle lifetime is 356,404 seconds. And then basically it's like how many times it starts up in its lifetime. The other screen I was on, it was like 5184, so I'm not sure why these are just a couple hundred on here. It might be just specific data, but it's been turned over 51,000 times, 84. So I'm gonna go on to your monitors. All right, let this focus. So these are your monitors. I always start here, your VIN. Make sure that always matches the computer and the car. Sometimes that could be a problem if it's ever been changed and they didn't do it correctly. No other pages here, all green checks, that's what we like to see. Circles with the gray line, it's either redundancy, so something else covers that, or it's just not monitored on this system. All looks good here. We're gonna keep going forward on this. All right, so you wanted some info on your alternator. At idle, you're pushing 14.5. Current load I have at 21, so let's turn the radio on and the AC. So we're gonna increase the load. As you can see, it doesn't really bring down that voltage on the alternator. It does go down a little bit, but as you see, I bring that load up. It's compensating quite well. We don't have any surging. Lights are on, radio's on, AC is on, rear heat is on. So it looks like you could even add more load to this and it would compensate it well. Like I said, I have max AC, radio, lights are on. High beams, so we're up to 30% load. You'd have to be like towing uphill to get this load to get higher for you, but that's going to be your monitors for this. All right, we're going to do our recap, our conclusion here. Overall, vehicle drives pretty good. My thing I did notice, transmission seems a little sloppy in eco mode. It gets a lot more crisp in normal, and then it feels really good with tow haul. That was the best driving experience, best response with throttle and everything, best shifts. So something to make note. Tires are pretty much brand new. We do have a pull to the right if you let go of the wheel or brake really hard. Keeping that in mind. Other thing was on this side, we did find some damage under here. Pretty significant structural damage to the body's lift point or pinch weld, where basically the side body the floor pan and the frame all meet. Some damage on the outside, but not terrible, just dings and dents. Honestly, for something that was probably mobbing around in the winter roads out in Alaska, it looks really good. Top is also in really good shape. We don't have any plate lights working at the time. This door, I did have an issue. If you have it locked, it won't let you close all the way, so you have to unlock it, close it past a certain point, and then it'll kind of figure itself out. Glass is in really good shape, except the passenger front window. It does not roll up and down no matter how hard I tried. They said it was intermittent, but I can't get it to be intermittent. Had some codes for the speaker on the driver front door being blown, but beyond that, really not a lot. Interior, you can tell, was hauling people. Good wear on the seats and everything. I documented everything as best as I could. Other thing you might bring up is the forward safety and lane keeping stuff. None of that was working. So definitely something to like see if they can get to pop up. I have no codes for it. I played with all the systems. I turned everything on and off. And even with cruise control set on the highway with people around, it didn't care. So drives fine though, but just keep that in mind. It's kind of weird. And we're just gonna stop here and get through the inspection.